the fourth game where we'll see that as well. Now let's head on over to the intro again, and we'll set up the next game ready to get started as soon as we get back. See you guys very shortly. I'm going to quickly turn my light on as well.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored, time won't change this damage anymore, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I'm a little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are tuned in to the STPL. My name is Kix, and I am joined here by Rapid Casting, or Rapid, or the Faster Caster, as some people do call him. I don't know why, but you do cast like everything, so I'm surprised you have time to be here, given the fact you did cast PUBG this morning in Korea, so you've had a busy day.
Well, you know, I received a lot of really cool feedback. I just finished doing an AMA and got a chance to really have a lot of positive interaction. And today, no fewer than 3 times, from people whose opinions I respect, told me that I was not taking esports seriously enough. So then I just casually showed up at 5 a.m. to cast some Brood War, just to illustrate really just how little I care about being here for esports. In all seriousness, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me, Kix. It's always great to have more Brood War out there. So a big thanks to you for putting on the STPL. And a big thanks to everybody for coming out and watching today or tonight or this evening or morning, wherever you are. It's always a good time for Brood War.
It is, and what a good time to introduce our third matchup here as we move on to the third game between ReV and 9thTeam. How did I forget their name? I'm staring at it. That's really bad. Okay, but here we go. Let's move on over to the overlay and let's introduce our third game here. Okay, that's completely the wrong screen. Wow. There we go. Okay, so for the third match, we're going to have for Clan Revolution, it's going to be InDi. InDi didn't actually play for Clan Revolution in round 1. He did play for... Who was he playing for? I think it was... How have I forgotten? I fixed it earlier. You know what? He was playing for a different team. I can't remember what it was, but I think he only played like 1 game, so it's not actually recorded.
I thought it was Foreign Brood War.
No, InDi wasn't on Foreign Brood War.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm totally wrong.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who he played for. He's playing for Clan Rev now. I think he was on IRK actually. Maybe it was IRK. It was either IRK or Red, I'm fairly certain. But he is a Protoss player, and his opponent for 9thTeam is going to be the Ace player from Team Liquid last season. He played a few Ace games and did win them, giving Team Liquid a good number of their match wins, actually. It's going to be V1.
That's right, V1, graphics artist extraordinaire, maker of the many faces of Gwenchi. Face art that is just absolutely poignant. Mwah. It is the OK sign emoji, if you wanted to think of it that way. But a fantastic artist, an even better Brood War player. And I'm excited to see if he can get the 3-0 for 9thTeam here today against Revolution.
Yeah, and this is going to be a PvP, and it's going to be on New Sniper Ridge. Now, New Sniper Ridge is arguably, outside of Neo Aztec, the most standard map in the map pool. It did go through a few revisions in 2010, from Sniper Ridge to New Sniper Ridge. This is the latest version that the game was played on, so there's no real need to go into the details of the previous one. But 4 corners, three pretty easy to take, well, a pretty easy to take third base with gas, and a double base in the middle that very rarely ever gets taken. But you never know, you can see a crazy game when that does get picked up. So let's head on over to the game, and let's get started with the third game of the first match of today's STPL.
Ta-da! Here we are, Kicks. What a time to be alive. So I'm going to start by introducing our Protoss player in the yellow, playing for Team ReV in the upper left-hand corner. This is InDi.
It is indeed, and spawning down here in the bottom left-hand side, we do have his opponent fighting on match point here for Team Liquid. Not Team Liquid, he was Team Liquid. Former Team Liquid player, still Team Liquid staff member, and now playing for 9thTeam. It's going to be the Brown Protoss, V1.
Yeah, V1, receiver of many accolades. Currently, the one I'm reading is Gypsy saying he is the best Protoss Estonia. I don't know how fierce the competition is out there for that title, but being at the top always feels pretty good. So very interested to see if he can bring home the 3-0 win. Obviously, InDi is going to try to fight against that, but this is a mirror match. It's a PvP, and it is on New Sniper Ridge, which traditionally, at least for me, one of the harder maps to kind of move across. You've got lots of up and downs and up and downs. You have the high and low ground to alternate as you try to make your way across the map. But they're spawning in close positions on a 4-player map. See how quickly they realize that.
Yeah, let's see exactly what way they're going to scout. Are we going to see 2-gate? Are we going to see 1-gate gas? Now, previously, we did see well, you may not have seen it, but certainly I did when I was solo casting a lot. V1 did opt to go for 1-gate gas quite often, and it looks like that's what both of them are going to be going for here in this first game.
Yeah, I always like to see PvPs where they do the same build. I feel like PvP, not more so than other mirror matches, but specifically because I watched a lot of PvP on Gladiator, which seemed to be just kind of a coin flippy matchup, because it was kind of hard to scout where your opponent was, because it's a pretty big map. This time around, we have the worst scouting pattern from V1, where he scouts close positions and then cross positions and then other close positions. So if you guess wrong with that scouting pattern, it's just a very long time. So if he was getting counter build ordered right now, then he would be most vulnerable to that.
Yeah, that would be very, very dangerous. Now, one thing you often see a lot of Terran players do, and even Protoss players, is scouting in like an N pattern, but it looks like luckily for V1, InDi is going to be scouting in the wrong direction as well, but he did send out that later scout. He's going to have that slight economic advantage. It's only a few minerals, but every single mineral counts. And he's actually decided to go for the scouting trick there. He scouts out into the middle. He scouts for a proxy as well while doing this, but he looks for the probe and doesn't see it. So he's actually going to go cross positions first. And this could actually hurt him now, because if he chooses to go into that top right position, he's going to scout even later than V1 is.
I never understand players that scout cross positions first on 4-player maps, because what do you gain from cross positions first? If you find out that your opponent is farthest away, the information that you gain is most outdated. The information is always most valuable the more quickly you get it. So always, I almost always see players scout close positions, but that can give you the info that you need. It might just be a little bit behind schedule. And he didn't go for a very early scout, so he's not concerned about crazy quick info, and he did scout for proxies in the middle, so I guess that makes him feel maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, the dangerous thing is, though, the Dragoon is already blocking the ramp for both players, and V1 will not see. In fact, there is a Citadel of Adun coming in, and there is currently no tech whatsoever for V1, so he could get blindsided here by a Dark Templar build if he's not careful. Will he go for a Robo?
Anytime I watch Protoss players not build a robotics facility, I have no sympathy for them, because that means that you're trying to sacrifice safety to do something more aggressive. Either you're going 3-gate or you're going into fast shuttle Reaver. But never forget, I will never forget this. It was either semifinals or finals of ASL. I think it was semifinals, because I think I was casting it. And Rain, right, my man, he's coming back. He's able to make the finals, but how does he get there? Well, he goes into a PvP, and I think his opponent, who was it? I forget. It was
I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, it was Shuttle. Shuttle's like, all right, well, I know how to counter DT rush. You build a robo, you get really close to building an observatory, and then you just don't. You just don't. That's a tragedy. So while we do see a robo on the way, I never ever believed that will lead to success. Fortunately, cannons at the front are always going to be a good way to stop DTs.
Trouble is, though, he doesn't have a forge, so he also is now building an observatory, but because he's in close positions, these DTs are going to get to the ramp before the observers are anywhere near done. And he's going to have to pull all of his units to the front of this ramp to just try and hold on. And there we go, the DTs have finally been spotted, the probe has gone down. Is there going to be a reaction? It looks like he's not realized, and oh no, the Dragoon has moved back, he's led the DTs into the main! And he is going to have to do the best he can to try and save as many probes as possible. But these DTs are going to be going for blood.
We gotta practice our alphabet. It's time kicks A B C D E F G G G G G G G. Wow, this is just a travesty. Now you're right. Eventually, this might get cleaned up now that the observer is out here. But it's so much lost mining time. The DT is actually gonna run in for more cheeky probe kills. And after all is said and done, there are 12 probes left on the map for V1.
There is, and not only that, InDi is getting his natural expansion up, he's going for those cannons at the front as well, and this is going to make it so hard for V1 to land any form of counter damage. Now of course, he does have his robotic support bay, he's going to be able to go for a ReV drop, but still, his economy is in complete shambles right now, and here we go, you can see he's trying to go for this counter, but he needs to be careful. If this observer gets sniped, there's going to be nothing to stop any further DTs.
Yeah, I was actually watching for an observer to be built, but I don't believe there's actually an observatory or a robo up for ReV. So he's going to have to rely on the either the cannons or maybe he can actually storm that, but I don't believe there's storm researched yet.
Oh, there we go. Storm is researched. He storms the top of the Dragoons. And V1 is doing a hell of a lot better of a job than I thought he would do. He gets all three of the cannons, and he's going to get the final Dragoon as well. Could this counterattack be what V1 needs? He's down to 3 Dragoons, but he's doing so much damage.
Yeah, he's actually trying to dive for the Dragoon kill 1v3? I don't know when that works out, so he's going to...
Oh, the probes have been pulled.
Yeah, and this is really going to equalize things. I was very surprised because he had 3 cannons there. That's pretty respectful. He didn't have probes pulled, so maybe that would have been like the utmost respect. So he does pull probes, but he doesn't lose a lot of them. And because of home field advantage and that Archon, he should be pretty able to hold here at the front.
He's lost at least 6 probes though, and this is a lot of mining time. Even though V1 did lose those probes, the probes he had have been constantly mining. V1 of course will be able to rebuild them incredibly quickly with that second base, but still that's a great amount of damage that V1 is putting down here at the front of InDi's base.
Yeah, as long as you keep 2 bases up, you'll eventually get the probe lead. So it feels bad to have lost that front door, and yeah, it's going to be annoying to kind of reclaim this because you do have, 3 gateways? 2 gateways headed your way. He should be able to hold on right here, but oh my god, the control, the stutter stepping, the micro from V1, the vengeance fueled by a player who has almost lost to DTs, really does know no bounds here. And man, V1 smelling that 3-0. He's got the 3-0 in his sights, and more importantly, he's about to have a Reaver and a shuttle coming across the map if he wants.
He is, and this is going to be very difficult for InDi to hold on to. InDi is still continuing to mine from his natural though. He's not lost his probes. And with a single DT, I think V1 should, or InDi should be able to clean this up, but he's just not opted to use that tech again.
If you run 1 DT across the map right now, into the mineral line, that's a great way to try to punish a player for being this hyper aggressive. You just kill all of his probes and eventually maybe macro your way back into holding. But I don't think that's what's going to happen here, Kicks. I think the control on these Dragoons is just too good. Several Dragoons in red HP survived for so long. He does lose one right as I say that, so the caster curse is still here, but the micro just continues, and that's going to do it. GG ReV gives 9thTeam the 3-0 victory, or what is it? V1 gives 9thTeam the 3-0 victory over ReV. Huh, I got it.
He does indeed, but as you may be aware, and as people watching may be aware, if there is a game that has been played, I will cast it. That does not count for the ace match. If someone's played the ace match, then I won't cast that if it doesn't count, because that would mess up my database and how all of the scoring is taken into account and everything. But still, that's a really, really nice 3-0 victory there for 9thTeam, really making a strong start in the second round of STPL. Maybe they didn't think they would do as well, given the fact they are an amalgamation of two previous teams. But with the more active players of each joining together, they've proven to be quite the force.
Yeah, they really are. I love to see players or teams that struggle a lot and then find a solution or work very hard to overcome that. It really appears as if 9thTeam is, on a good track. I'm excited to see them not only succeed today, but maybe in the future as they face off against stronger teams, see if they can overcome even those obstacles.
That would be very nice to see. Let's head on over to the intro for the last time in this series, and let's load up the next game. See you guys very shortly.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't face the way I did before, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored, time won't change this damage anymore, don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I'm a little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you, turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are once again watching the Shinhan Tank Pro League, the STPL 2018 to 2019 season, and this is round 2. This is day 3 of week 1, the final day, and I am joined by Rapid here, and we are going through currently the first series of today, which is, I've forgotten, ReV versus 9thTeam, so it's been pretty fun so far.
That's right. So where we're sitting right now, if you're just now tuning in, 9thTeam has managed to 3-0 ReV, which would ordinarily give them the win in the best of 5, but we play all 4 games regardless. So this is the 4th game, and it's going to be exciting because we have one of my favorite 9thTeam players playing. So I believe we have a slide that shows exactly what the matchup is going to be coming up.
We do indeed. I'm just quickly setting up the colors, but that should take me just a second. One of the things I did for this, and people may not be aware, I created an entire system in Java with my very dodgy Java to make all my overlays for me, and I learnt my SQL for it as well. So let's move on over to set overlay, and let's have a look at what players we're going to be seeing in our 4th and final game of our first series today.